Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling, magic Monday. Yes, it is that day of the week where the magic spark just ignites the week to turn it into an incredible week. So what magic did you have happen in your day today? I got a very productive day done. My to-do list is done, which means I can watch a movie tonight if I wanted to. But I don't know what I would watch. I can't watch the Star Wars one because I don't have any of the DVDs in Sparkles, which was my Friday fun thing that I pulled out of my tin. But I checked all my DVDs and I don't have those ones in Sparkles with me. They're in a box in storage somewhere in the unit. Probably on the one marked DVDs, but I don't know where the DVD box is. I know, crazy thing. You know, oh yeah, we'll just go down the storage and pick it up. Yeah, but you don't know how many boxes are in there. I got to plan some time in that storage unit to get it done, over and done with. So what was magic about your day today? My day was really good. I got a lot of great stuff done, completed. Got a design designed for cards and really cool. Yeah, I got some card designs done. Got some work done for clients. And one thing I will be doing this evening is I am back on the hunt for my friend who has a genealogy emergency. Probably, what's a genealogy emergency? It's when you need certain genealogy documents, like yesterday, for something that you have to do for a loved one that has passed. There's a number of reasons that you would need genealogical documents immediately. And so being able to help her has been such a huge honor to be able to do that for her. And we've got one more person we need to find. Yes. And last we heard they were still alive. We don't know if they are or not. So we're digging in there and trying to find out more about, digging into this person's life, trying to find out more about this person so that we can see if they are dead or alive. And then we've got to figure out what the next step is for what she needs the information for. So it's been my other genealogy clients have had to wait because I've had to concentrate on this emergency that popped up. And I bet you never thought there would be an emergency with genealogy. Did you even know that genealogy could have emergencies? But there's certain documents that are required for certain things, and in some cases you have a deadline that you have to get this stuff together by. So it has been a huge honor to help my friend with that. What else? So I'm going to be doing some more on that tonight. I think I may have found the person, but I need to double check everything before I can turn around and say, yes, I found her. I'm sort of like, ooh, I may have found her. I'm just doing that little happy dance. But I do have to take a break because I've been working on it since I got knocked off at 5:00. So I've been working on it for almost an hour, or about an hour. And then I said, oh, I got to go do my live. And so I think I may have found the person, but I have to go back and verify my steps along the way to make sure that I haven't forgotten something or I've taken some information the wrong way before I can say, yay. So right now we're just going, yay, we may have found her, and do a little magic dance. But if I have, I know that she will be really, really happy about that one. But yes, so I have to go double check everything, triple check everything, check my sources, verify my sources and all that, verify the information before I can pass it along. If it is the right person, if it's not the right person, then we just keep digging. We just keep going. Actually, her and I were talking the other day about this, and I sort of said, there's times I wonder if maybe I should get a PI license. And she's like, why? I said, well, they've got access to records I don't get access to as a genealogist, and maybe if I combine the two, it could be a lot of fun. And she was like, So just one of those wild thoughts that pop into your head every now and again. But anyway, so on to telling your story. It's time to tell your story, whether it's going to be read by somebody in the now, in the future, or 1,000 years from now. Your story needs to be told. Your story is going to have an impact on somebody's life that you may not even know. You may not even know that you have an impact on that one person's life, but you may not end up impacting one person. You could end up impacting thousands with your story. So really, really think about getting out there and writing your story. So our question today for telling your story was, how did you get to school? When you were a kid and it was time to go to school, how did you get there? I walked. Simple as that. I walked to and from school, from when I started at the age of 5 all the way through to when I left at the age of 17. I walked. Kindergarten, I got driven to. I guess kindergarten age kids at 4 were 2.5. 2.5 they start now? 2.5, 3, somewhere around there. Start kindergarten. You go morning kindy, then afternoon kindy, then all day kindy, then you go to school. You go to school when you're 5. So yeah, kindy I got picked up and dropped off at. School I walked to and from that one from the age of 5 all the way through to I was 17. We walked a lot when I was younger. Something I loved about, even though I had a driver's license, I didn't have a car. I had a driver's license, I didn't have a car. I did have a bike, but that stayed at home. I wasn't allowed to take the bike to school. I remember there was a couple of occasions where I was allowed to take my bike to school, and I can't remember why. I was allowed to on those occasions. All I know is there was a couple of occasions where I was allowed to take my bike to school, but otherwise I walked. And I mean, I was even walking home from gymnastics at 9 o'clock at night when it's pitch black, by myself, walking down the street that I lived on. Had to stop at the school caretaker's house to drop off the keys for the gymnasium, and then carry on from his place down there. And the street wasn't that well lit, 13 at the age of 13, I was doing that. Yes, going off and picking up keys and dropping keys off. And actually, I had a place I had to go to the school to pick up the keys. No, I would pick up the keys on my way to the gymnasium, because I'd go home, have dinner, get changed, walk back. Yeah, I had the same way I had to walk to and from the gym, because I had to go past the caretaker's house and pick up the keys. If there's nobody there, they were left in the letterbox. And then I'd pick them up out of the mailbox. Continue the walk, go unlock the gym, get the equipment set up. There's a couple pieces of equipment that I waited for other people to come in to help me lift. But there were things that were already put out for us, like the bars, because they had to have the guide ropes and all that. The rings had been lowered. We didn't have the high bar. Oh no, we did have a high bar. Yeah, that was up as well. There's certain things that took multiple people to get them set up. And you had to make sure that they were safe because of the guide ropes, the guide wires and all of that sort of stuff. But most of the time we got there, the heavy stuff had already been put out, ready for us. And so I just had to get the mats out. And there were these thick mats with like a fake carpet stuff on top. And they would roll, so they were easy. But then at the end of the night, everything had to be put away except the stuff that had the wires on them. So the bars were not put away at night. They were put away the next morning by the caretaker and his crew, because of the wires and how they had to be taken down and all that sort of stuff. But we put the vaults away, the beams, the mats. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I used to love gymnastics. Yeah, then I screwed up my wrist and I had to give it up. So I went cold turkey on that. Should have stuck with the judging side of it. Could have gone back and become a gymnastics judge. Should have done that, but I was so upset I couldn't help kids anymore. I just cold turkey. Done. But yeah, we walked everywhere. And then my friend from high school, her and I used to get on our bikes and go for bike rides on weekends and things. And yeah. But I have a really cool story about a biking thing to tell you about. But I'm going to put that into a question so I can tell that one. So anyway, I'm out of here. I got to go DOG to take for WALK. Oh, hang on, the head's popped up. No, she saw something outside. Something outside was moving around. And her head suddenly popped up and she's like looking out there, studying it. But I have to take her for her WALK for her evening walk. And yeah, go listen to some more of Top Gun and about how it was all formed and everything else. Not the movie. We watched the movie over the weekend, and now I'm back to listening to the book by Dan Penderson. Hang on. One moment, please. Top Gun by Dan Peterson, Pedersen. He's the guy that was basically the founder for the Top Gun program. Really, really cool book about how it comes about. I haven't got to the point yet. They're in Vietnam, and it's the year before they formed Top Gun. So we're learning about what's going on in Vietnam and how they're losing so many pilots and all that. There's all these statistics on how many pilots they had, and then once they started Top Gun, what those numbers moved to. So, in fact, I think they referred to them in the movie about how many, when they first started, the dogfighting skills were lost basically over the time, and about how Dan Peterson with his team and stuff brought back the art of dogfighting with planes. So I'm going to go hear some more of that while we go for our walk. Who knows who we will meet? Maybe we'll take the pink wagon with us and put the treats that I got. You remember those things like the snacks, the non-chocolate ones we'll get, and the non-labeled ones will get put into a cart in the black box. I'll pull out the pink. I got a pink wagon, pull that out, put the black box in there, and as we meet people, so like, here, help yourself. We may do that tonight. I don't know. We're expecting thunderstorms, and we're under thunderstorm watches right now, up until midnight or something like that. Anyway, I'm out of here. I've rabbled it on long enough. So go tell your story. Talk about how you'd get to and from school. If you were on a bus, was there someone you would sit next to every day? Did you have a friend you would sit next to? If you walked, did you meet up with friends and walk to school together? If you rode your bikes, same question. Did you have a group of you that would ride your bikes together to school? Yeah, just lots of interesting questions. It could all be done about how you got to and from school. Remember, we had one girl, same age as me, but she would, and most of the people that drove to school and they were allowed to drive were ones that lived out in the country, that lived outside the city limits, and they would drive in each day instead of catching the bus to and from school. They would, because the school buses in New Zealand, the school buses at the time when I was going to school were only for those who lived outside the town or the city boundaries. If you lived within, you had to make your own way to school. But if you lived like in the rural areas out in the country, they actually would bus you to and from school. So that's how we got bused to and from school. And I got to go home on a school bus one night with a friend because I stayed the night over at her place on a school night, which was quite amazing. I got to go do a sleepover on a school night. But yeah, I was allowed to go on the bus because I was going home with her and then came back with her the next morning. So it was kind of a fun adventure. It was just the one time I got to take a bus to and from school. Every other time I walked. I think there was maybe if it was raining, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think there was times my parents took me to, I'm trying to remember times that my parents drove me to school. It would have to be raining really hard for that to have happened. Because normally we just walk through our raincoats on and walk to and from school. Playing in the puddles to and from school. It was fun. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Let me know what was magic. What was that magic spark in your day that's going to kick the rest of the week off okay for you? And how did you get to and from school? And who did you hang out with when you were going to and from school? Anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you back here bright and early tomorrow morning for Tune Up Tuesday. Hey, go now.